So while I do that, you guys, I'm working with three colors. Again, I always encourage you guys to use whatever color works best for you. But I'm using three colors. So while I do that, you guys, let's hope I can keep it in, it'll stop focusing on me and stay in camera. Okay. So welcome, hello, welcome. I'm Ronita. I'm a Purposeful Point, and I teach painting in person and online. Um, I'm going through my checklist, a spotlight for everyone, so you guys can zoom in on the painting. And welcome, audio. You guys are welcome to unmute anytime you like. But if you guys have a lot of background noise, I do ask that you mute that. So all right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to grab my green. I used green and white for my background. Um, I'm using, I have to go over what we're using. I am using, I'm on a pad. It's 9 by 12. You're welcome to use whatever works best for you as far as what your surface is. Canvas board. Like I said, I'm using a pad. It does very well. It's really thick. The paper, see that? It just moved. I'm gonna have to go down like this. I have to sit lower just so I can get in the. I'm gonna switch chairs just so the camera will look at me. But you're welcome to use whatever you like as far as your surface. I am using my brushes. Oh, look at that. It did, but I'm still gonna have to change that. But I'm using a flat brush. I like to use a flat brush that to use to paint the larger surfaces. This I think is a 1 inch, but you can find a 1 inch or all the way up to, I think this is a half inch. You can find anywhere between a half inch and a 1 inch in any craft store. And then of course I'm going to go smaller. I'm going to grab some smaller brushes as I go down to do my details. Okay. Paint, I'm using acrylic paint. I am using a more fluid paint. I know that some people like to use the tube paints. That's fine. I'm not using the tube paints. I do have them, but for these examples, I usually use my fluid paint because it helps move I use a craft paint because it helps move the paint around on the canvas a little bit better. But yeah, that's what I'm using. So I do like to wet my brush before I get started, like to get it nice and wet. It does help to move the paint around the canvas. And we are going to just pretty much paint our background. Well, I'm going to paint my background green and white. So I'm going to start with white. It's going to probably be hard for you to see my white, but eventually when I add my green, it'll even out. So again, there's no rhyme or reason. I am kind of going horizontal, kind of up and down on my screen. On my canvas to get that and I'm just using white. And you might not be able to see the white paint, but me in person, I can see the white. Okay, now I'm dipping my brush in my green and I'm coming on top of the white. And I'm going to just kind of start blending the white and the green, the white and the green. And I want mine to be kind of light, pale, more of a pale green. So I'm going to always add more white than green. And you just decide how dark you want your background. Now, my example, I got really carried away with how many peppermints and peppermint sticks and all that stuff on my canvas. I'm probably not going to paint as many as you saw in the example. Like I said, I got carried away, and we don't have all the time that I use to add all those things to my canvas. And again, and then sometimes my brush gets a little bit drier because I am using the paper. So the paper has a tendency to kind of drink up my paint. So I do have to dip my brush often in the water to keep it kind of fluid. And I'm going to pretty much cover my whole background. Let me check. I don't see any comments. Yeah, like I said, you guys are welcome to come off mute if you have a comment or a question or anything like that. But for the most part, we'll just hang out. Um, okay, I got my white down. I dipped my brush. I'm just putting a little bit of green. Again, it's really up to you how much green you put in there. And then I'm pretty much going to thin mine out a lot because I like that pale green background. Go with my, and again, you're welcome to use whatever color you want to use now. I did say green, but it's your painting. You use what works best for you. And I like the green. So that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm not going to cover my whole background. That's up to you. I mean, as far as going all the way to the edges, you might see some areas that are still, that I'm not all the way to the top or all the way in the bottom. That's your choice. That's your choice, guys. I'm getting close only because if I get too much of the edge, it paints the pages behind, and I don't want that. So. So how is that looking? Look at that. It's showing all my junk in the background. I'm on camera. There we go. Stay in camera. Right. I'm kind of letting that background dry a little bit, guys. So you guys can stop swiping anytime. We're not painting a wall. Your background does not have to be opaque, meaning a solid. Just get the paint, cover the paint. I'm sorry, just cover the surface. It doesn't have to be, like I said, it does not have to be a solid, even area. We just want to get your background covered or not. It's up to you. I was trying to go back and look at my video of when I painted it. Okay. So I kind of wanted to let that dry a little bit before I moved on to the next step. And I'm going to start using my white. That's why I like to have at least some kind of color in my background so that my white will stand out. And I'm still going to be using my larger brush. I am going to rinse out the brush so that I can get the green out of it. Because I just want to be make sure I get all the green out because I just want to go primarily white. So how often do you host the classes? We host, well, I host the classes at least once a month for free. The free sessions are at least once a month, but I do have other sessions that you can that are pre-recorded. You can jump in anytime that you like. And lost my train of thought. But at least once a month. We did take a sabbatical when my device, I had to get a new device. Then I couldn't figure it out. Like I said, this where the camera follows you. I couldn't turn that off. And so I didn't do any for about 3 months, I would say. And then I said, Chat GPT, I got this equipment. How do I turn off this follow you camera? And it showed me how to do that. And so I was back in business. And then, like I said, I must have had some kind of update. Yeah, I wish I could do that. I had some kind of update, and then now it's back, and it's not Zoom, it's my camera. Because I try to call Zoom, but I don't have, like, you guys want to know all the extra stuff. I don't I have a paid account, but I'll have just the basic paid account, and you don't get customer service with a basic paid account. So they wouldn't talk to me. But I figured out what it was. It wasn't even Zoom. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and decide where my circles, my candy, because you guys, let you guys see where I put the candy. These, I'm just gonna concentrate on just a couple of them. One, two. I've got some stuff over here. I'm not gonna do anything with those. But one, two, I'm gonna put those circles in there, and then I'll position my candy canes. Okay, my circles meaning the circles do not have to be exact, and I'm just painting them white. And a nice white. I'll have to get the link for the YouTube account. I should have it handy. I should have it handy, but I don't. Okay, so we're taking painting our circles. Well, actually, back in the day, we used to come every Thursday. I think Judy, the only one I see that used to come with back in the day regularly was Judy. We used to do it every Thursday night for a couple years. Um, so, how big do you want your that one? So, how big do you want it? So there. Then I'm gonna kind of do a diagonal. I'm trying to remember what I did. Yeah, I pretty much changed up everything. So you do what you do what you feel. So I know what I'm gonna do. But okay, so there is another one, nice circle. And you just, I mean, it's just plain white because hopefully your background is a different shade so that you can jump on that. And then I want to do a candy cane. And I'm going to curve. It's like an upside down J, guys. And the cane is just as wide as my brush. Like I said, I am going to change it up a little bit because I've already changed it up. But we're freestyling. We can do that. And you can too. It's your painting. Okay. And again, my candy cane is just as wide as my brush. So you can see I kind of hooked it there. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm changing it up. I'm going to go ahead and what did I do last time? I'm going to just put a can, what is this called? A peppermint stick kind of cross over this other one. But this one's going to be just a straight because I don't know if you guys remember when I was growing up, we had the a big thick one. And it was just, it didn't have a curve in it or anything. It was just one big stick of candy, hard candy that was a peppermint stick. And we would gnaw on those bad boys. It was crazy. I can't believe I'm not a peppermint person now, but oh my goodness, we love those peppermint sticks. Like it was a peppermint stick, but it was, really real thick and like big, like a jumbo one. I don't know if they make them anymore because I don't know if kids are really into peppermints. My kids would say it's kind of like for old people, but I don't keep any peppermints in my pocket, so I don't know why they would say that about me. Okay, so now I have my base down. We have the white of our candy cane. And now we're going to go, I'm going to go down a size on my brush and I'm going to switch to red. Guys, go ahead and I get my red together. Ship, lollipop, it's so sweet. Ship from the candy shop, it's so happy landing on the chocolate bar. All right, you guys hopefully are caught up with me by now. Now, look at that. Every time I change, it just zooms in and out. And then I don't know if it's showing you guys everything. Now, the okay, I'm gonna do this one first. So I'm gonna focus on the center of this circle here, right? Feel like you guys can't see me. And I'm going to take, starting at that circle, and make a curve. And now that is going to set the tone for the everything else, that little curve there, okay? I'm going to do another one that's kind of close, but as I get up to the edge, I'm going to go a little bit wider. That makes sense? We're making peppermints, the kind that I was going to say our grannies have in our pockets, but you guys, I don't know what the age is, so no. So I'm going to do that all the way around. You guys, I'll do one more up close so you guys can get the gist, and I'm going to put it back on the easel and then go all the way around with it. Okay. Curve. See the curve? And then another curve, small at the bottom, bigger as I get to the edge. Okay. And it's okay if it's not even, guys, because mine's is not looking very even at all. But it's okay if it's not. Okay. And so that's what we're going to do. Oh, I hate this camera. Thank you. Okay. And then I'm just going to do that. What I just showed you guys, I'm going to do it all the way around. I'm going to repeat those steps and go all the way around. It's kind of like a pinwheel. It so happens that, oh, I went the wrong way. Don't go the wrong way. Okay, it's like a pinwheel. As you see, I did make a oops on one of them, but I'll come back after it's dry and just paint white on top. And so now what I'm doing now is just I'm going back over the red, putting a second layer of the red, but only do that if the paint is dry. My paint is dry because I'm on the paper, but if your paper's not dry, don't go back. You can still put a second layer, but wait till it dries. Move on to the next thing. I know canvas, it takes a little bit longer to dry. It might not be as dry as with this paper. Okay. Okay. So now the next circle, I actually I did something a little bit different with that one. I try to do a spiral one. I don't know if it's showing spiral, but you can either, I wasn't crazy about that one, but you can either do this one again or try the spiral. If you can trust yourself to experiment and try the spiral, do it. If you don't trust yourself, just stick with the same design here, okay? I am going to go with the spiral. Okay. And I'm going to use my, I don't know what I'm going to use. Okay. So spiral, you guys, I'm sorry, you probably are thinking, I followed her because she knows what she's doing, but now she's acting like she don't know what she's doing. And that's just how the it's a free class. You knew the risk when you signed up. Sorry. So, okay. So I'm using my white to do my spiral, okay? Because I used red earlier, but the red lines I did, well, maybe I could have still did the red lines and just covered them up. But I use white to use for my spiral. You can use red. I can use white. I can see the white. You might not be able to, but I can see the white. Okay. So then I'm kind of going to do the same thing as I did here, but they're going to be smaller and they're going to be, in the spiral. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to do a stripe. I'm not going to do a curve. But whatever I do, you see where it's going to be smaller in the beginning, and then it's going to get bigger. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Well, you're not going to be able to see the spiral until I'm done. So let's just let me kind of get ahead on the spiral so you guys can understand what I'm doing. But again, if you're not comfortable with the spiral, and some people like me, I'm not worried about, oh, I messed up, I messed up. But if you are worried about that, then just stick with the curves here. And I'm doing this. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but you live and you learn. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Might have to put the red in there just to see what sort of looks like. Can tell what's going on. Look at that darn camera. Come on. Let me sit back there. Come on. Oh, hopefully I get this fixed by the next class, guys. Okay, so there's my spiral. And I went around the candy cane like that. Now with the candy cane, the sticks, it's going to be a lot better, a lot easier. So I did make mine kind of diagonal, just a slight, not real big, but just a slight diagonal. Okay. And the the one on with the hook, that's going to be my one that's on top. That's going to be on top. Okay. Now I usually say, hey, don't make it symmetrical, make sure they're not even the same. But this time I am again, but you know what? We are painting abstract art. So if they are not symmetrical, your lines, it's okay. But I mean, I'm not measuring it with a measuring, but just to see, I'm trying. It don't doesn't always work. Usually I like to stand up and get in it, but now every time I stand up, the darn the camera follows me. Okay. I don't think I did very much of a diagonal on these, but I'll be more diagonal with the other candy stick. So basically just put some stripes on the stick. Hey! Uh-oh. What does that mean? Oh, someone left the room. I guess she wasn't feeling it. Okay, so this, and then too, I was really last minute about getting this class up. I didn't get it up until Saturday. So I know a few people that would have been here if I had done it sooner, and I apologize. I'll work on that one. But this one, I'm going to try to do more diagonal. Now remember, this one's going to be underneath. So you have to be careful. That's my underneath. Okay. That's the diagonal that I really wanted for the top one, but it didn't come out as that diagonal. Okay. Now, now this is the time if you want to go back, like I said before, if your this wasn't dry, it was still kind of wet and you want a second coat on your stripes, your red stripes, this is the time that you go back and do that. Okay. So let me see. What do I want to do? I'm going to put a second coat. And I'm not trying to make it perfect. I'm just, making it a little bit darker. It's not going to be exact. I might not cover and get each one, but just if it's your paint, we all have different brands. Your paint might be dark enough for you that you don't have to go back and put the second coat. It's really up to you. Okay. In person, I look like I need it, but then when I look in the camera, it looks red enough that I really need it? I should have kept that red. Keep that red in your brush. We're gonna put the little candy balls. I'm covering up one of my oopsies from earlier, the red paint. After you have get your red in there, um, I guess maybe I could just call these green and red gumballs. Gonna put a few gumballs in there. And when you're putting your red ones on, make sure you leave room for a green as well. And they're just circles. Um, if you have something that can help you make a perfect circle, you're welcome to use it. I don't believe in people's like, oh, that's cheating. I don't believe in that. So you, whatever assist you in whatever you're doing, you do it. Like people who are architects, they use rulers, they use whatever to get the line. So what's different? Okay. So I'm just, like I said, spreading out. I'm putting a few red gumballs, because that was like, be truthful. It was after I finished it, I was like, oh, I have leftover paint. I put the gumballs on there. So whatever works for you. Apologize for the camera. It's moving again. Or you cannot put them on. Again, this is your painting. Do what works for you guys. I put 3. You don't have to put 3. Just do what works for you. Now I'm switching to my green. Camera's driving me crazy. Oh, now I'm rinsing my brush out. I'm going to grab my green paint and do the same with my gumballs. Oh, oh, Judy. Yeah, Judy. She popped out. She'll finish and email me her painting. Where can I put another gumball? I'm just pretty much kind of filling up the paper. My next step, we're pretty much finished with that. I'm ready to put my finishing touches on, guys. That's not fun. And it's going to be with white. All right. Now I want to take my white paint. Now I have went down to my pointer brush. Grab your pointer brush, or I mean, sometimes I do use my bigger brush just because I'm painting a line, but it's entirely up to you. Which now that you say that, I'd rather have the bigger brush. Now that I say that, not you. So you can take your pointer brush, or I like to take my flat brush and make me a nice point to my flat brush, like flatten it out. And that's going to give me, I'm going to dip it in my white, and then I'm going to take that white, and I'm going to show you guys that I see the white line that I'm putting on here, painting on there. I'm not at the edge and I'm not in the middle. I'm close to, it's off-centered. I want to put an off-centered line, but it's not on the edge. And I'm going to do that for both my candy canes. Did my first one. See how it changes? It gives it dimension as soon as I put that on there. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to do the same for the other one, but remember that one is down underneath. So I hop over. I don't drag it through that first one, the top one. hop over it, then come on down. Now, I'm going to do the same thing for my peppermints. Now this one is just the round one. I'm gonna do something a little bit different with the spiral one. Maybe it'll work, maybe not. But I'm gonna go ahead and again, um, it's not gonna be at the edge. It's not gonna be in the middle, and I'm just gonna make a big circle in my peppermint. Okay. Now, for my spiral, I'm just gonna go all the way around, spiral out. It really didn't work out, did it? All right, there's my spiral. Oh my goodness. That one truly looks like a pinwheel. Maybe I should have made the my candy things wider. That's something to keep in mind for the future. That make the red stripes a little bit wider so it doesn't look so much like a pinwheel. Now I am going to my pointer brush and I'm going to dip that in the white and then all of my gumdrops. I'm just going to put a little highlight, a little accent because this is my finishing touch. Everything we paint, guys, this is exactly this is what I do every time. That's my uh signature. It just brings everything to brings it dimension. So I love it. And really with the gumballs, if you like, you can let me see, throw another little surface on there if that works for you. All right. And this is the time that I encourage you guys to you know, add your signature, add something that says you. You don't, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine. And especially if you did change the colors up, that would definitely say, make it your own painting is what I'm trying to say. If that means different colors, if that means put a little something extra on here, um, another candy cane, candy stick, or anything like that, that would be, if that works for you. The camera's moving again. Oh my goodness, it's driving me crazy. I'm definitely going to work on that. All right. Before we go, I'm gonna end it on the Facebook. On the Facebook, I'm gonna end it in the YouTube. I'm gonna stop the YouTube recording and say, "Hey, YouTube, thanks for painting. Make sure you like."